Alright, welcome back. It's been probably about a year since I talked to you guys last, and we're going to take this actually in a couple parts. We're going to start by just showing you how to de-ink a foil, and then we'll show you how to actually stick various different components onto it to make it into a proxy. Like this one, this is with a new method that we'll talk about later on. Alright, so first let's talk about the kind of things you're going to need. This is just basic. You can do whatever you want, but you're definitely going to want some paper towels and your acetone, of course. And my preference for removing ink is actually a toothbrush with as soft bristles as you can and as big as you can. This actually, technically, I like it bigger than this. So that's basically what we're going to do. And we're going to use electrician's tape. This is actually what I found to be the best, bar none, for holding down a proxy. Holding down a card as we de-ink it. So you'll see why. You can actually push down on the tape and it will form to the corners of the card. So no acetone will get under the foiling and remove the foil. So that's important. So we're just going to show you how to do it. Now, the cards you want to use, you're good. Anything in Xander card block is perfect, and I hear Scars of Mirrodin works as well, but not Mirrodin Besieged. I have to check that myself, but we'll just show you quickly how fast you can de-ink these foils. It's extremely fast. We'll start with just getting the center out. That's what we're going to be doing with the toothbrush. So we dip it in the acetone, start rubbing it. It's going to be fairly quick, believe it or not. You can see how fast it starts to come off. And use a soft bristle so you don't actually scratch the surface. That's the whole point. But once we start going, it comes off very quickly. Okay. The other thing about electrician's tape is it actually holds up really well. It's not too sticky, so it's not going to pull the foil right off when I untape it. So do that, and then kind of rub around the edges here. Should be the last little bit of acetone we need. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the pieces of tape one at a time off the edges, and then we're gonna use a paper towel with a little bit of acetone and rub off the black part. And then we'll get a completely clean surface. Alright, so there we go. Now we have the inside done. So we'll start by taking our first piece of tape off, which I believe is this side. Now you want to be careful you don't want to rip the foil right off, so we'll just pull it like this. Nice and easy, piece of cake. So, and the cool thing about this tape is you can actually reuse it. So I just let it stick there. It stays sticky, but not so sticky that it's going to rip the foiling off. That's why it's the perfect thing. So now that we have that edge, we just dip our paper towel a little bit in the acetone and just run it along the edge here. Piece of cake. Alright, I got a little bit under that foiling, so this isn't going to be an absolutely perfect one. But you will not be able to tell that from the proxy, for sure. Alright, so you really don't need a lot of acetone, just enough to kind of get it there. And you kind of want to go, away from the edge. You don't want to go like this way, so you don't accidentally get acetone under it. That would be not as good. Alright, there's that corner done. I need a little more acetone here. And you don't really have to use glove with acetone. I know it says to be careful, but stuff really doesn't hurt you very much at all. Alright, so there's the second last side. And you'll really reduce how much the acetone gets into the foil by making sure that tape is pressed down properly. So we're going to finish by de-inking this side here. Alright, there's 3 of 4. Alright, and then the last piece, you're just going to have to hold it down for this part, whatever makes it work for you. You see how I just saved the tape so I can reapply it, so if I'm doing a bunch in a row, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm getting acetone under the foiling, not from this, but from when I was actually using the toothbrush. And you can prevent that by obviously pressing down hard on the tape, making sure that it's actually very flat. Alright, so I think this one is practically done. Get this last corner. And then you kind of see what it looks like. So that's it. See? Alright, so now we're done with this one. And you can see how under the corners it's like this rough area. That's actually not something we did on the surface. It's actually acetone getting under it and pulling off that glue. But you won't be able to tell. Once you put the transparency on top of it, you will not be able to tell that that is the case. Alright, so that's that part of the video, and see you guys later.